Good morning, everyone. I'm going to let Facebook notify you that I'm here. Jay's here with her coffee. And if you'll please say hello as you come in so that I have an opportunity to say hello right back, that would be great. Hi, Susan. How are you? Look at my new cup. Coffee, pray, repeat. Good morning, Joyce. Let me get this out of the scene. There we go. Hi, Kristen LaCroix from Alberta. Welcome. Welcome. I know I've seen you before, but welcome anyway. I don't know why this table is extra shaky today. Good morning, Maria. Good to see you. Today's topic is about trusting ourselves. Good morning, Carrie and Peggy. Two Peggies. Good morning, Peggy Forbes. I hope you're feeling well and healing well. Good morning, Georgie. Hi, Shannon. We got to talk, girl. Good morning, Tamanika. Hey, Tamanika, I've been paying my light bill, just so you know. My power bill. Hey, Retta. Annette. Oh, how is it out there in San Francisco? Good morning, Annette. Other Annette. Leanne Carter, good morning. Thana. Hey, good morning, sweet lady. Hi, Claudia. Tell Dave hello. Hi, Micah. Congratulations. That's exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's exciting. Tamanika, I got to tell you, girl, you and I are going to have to do something together. We really are. Your comment about ignoring the background noise, your pay the power bill, things like that, they really touched me. And I've been working on them. 105 degree bend in therapy today. Staples out Wednesday. Yay, Peggy! That's awesome. Hi, Sally. Good morning, precious Bobby. Hey, Melissa. How's my Buckeye girl? Good morning, Amanda. Hey, Jess. Yeah, it has been a while. You posted something you did, and I can't remember what it was. It was great. Well, we're going to do it. You are amazing. 65 degrees in Ohio. Well, I don't know what it is here, but I'm sure it's near 80. Although, I will tell you that our weather is trending down. Phone calls. People think it's Monday. I got time for them. Hey, Melinda. Good morning. Love Missouri. Love the Show Me State. I want to mention a few people that we prayed for last week. Hi, Stephanie. Hey, Pam. Got it, Shannon. Now, if I just could make the time like I should be. Look at that hair. Whatever. Here's some of the people that we prayed for specifically this week. I want you to know that when Deanna and I pray, we also pray. It was a little chill in the air in Michigan this morning. Oh, lucky you. Yay. Hi, Vicki Zaretsky. How are you? Here's some of the people that we prayed for. Teeny, she had the stroke. She is doing well. She's expected to get a full recovery. We prayed for Missy and her husband. We need to continue those prayers. Her husband has quite a number of health issues, and she is taking best care of him as she can. I know, Charlotte, I can't wait. I should say don't, sorry. Can't wait, just a few more weeks. You did, Tamanika. I have had a couple of people message me about that. So, yay, thanks a lot. Hey, Hallie. And Jana, how are ya? Halloween wreath. That must have been it. I know, Jess. I'm so sorry. You were on our prayer list as well. So we prayed for my blessing. That's Jeannie Blessing Driscoll for her back and knee to recover. We prayed for Loretta's cousin, or knee. I guess it's her second cousin, Camry. where they found the cancer, and she had to undergo some serious surgery and now some very strong chemo. Good morning, Marika. Hey, Jan, you've been booking it, girl, with your projects. Hey, Amanda. There you go. Good morning, Miss Slocum. How's Jody? Good morning. Hi, Susan. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Deborah. We prayed for Dawn Norton, whose father was diagnosed with cancer. We prayed for beautiful Amy Slocum, that she would be able to have time with her granddaughter. And God answered that prayer, y'all. She got to spend some time with her granddaughter. Isn't that amazing? Continue that prayer. Tamara Daniels, we prayed about her mom. Fran Nonamaker, we prayed for her and her health to get better. Catherine Marshall, prayers for healing. Sue Romp, her husband is a truck driver, so we wanted to make sure to pray for all of our truck drivers. We prayed for Val Kelly in Australia. They're in a serious lockdown due to COVID. We prayed for Levon, whose dad was undergoing some serious health issues. Deanne Mokler, we need to continue prayers for Deanne. Susan Flannery, we prayed that she would find peace and comfort on the 3rd anniversary of losing her son. Sue Tinsley, she was recovering from a pacemaker, defib, and fell. So we prayed for that. Jackie Ellenberger, her grandson Jaden, 3 years old, we prayed for him and complete recovery. He was put in a body cast. And someone else that we didn't discuss last week because it hadn't happened, our friend Dustin Gibson over at Flower Something Paradise. I know I'm going to mess it up. He lost a very, very close friend unexpectedly, so we want to include him in our prayers. Now, when I pray, I know there's a lot of you who don't ask for prayer but might need it and just don't want to, go public with whatever your needs are. So I always pray that everyone that is a part of the Coffee with Dre family is in a good place, that receives the guidance and direction they need. That's a prayer Dre needs. So if y'all want to pray for me, pray that God gives me guidance and direction as we're at crunch time for TDR. Very busy physically. It's when you start feeling your age is when you got to do all that physical labor. And that I react to people in an appropriate way. Sometimes I just want to say, wake up. Sometimes I want to gently wake them up. And so I always pray, because God knows my mouth could get me in trouble if I didn't pray for him to. Hi, prayers always for all. Yes, Micah. Melissa, I need to add you to the prayer list, sweetie. Let me get this. Deanna's not here at the moment, so she usually writes these down for me. Let me write that down so I don't want to forget. So, when I pray, I do pray specifically for specific prayer requests. Sorry if I'm shaking the table. I write too hard. I am well, Amanda. I hope that you are too. Absolutely, Thana. We all have needs that God can meet. Sometimes he doesn't meet them the way we want. Let me fix this shirt. It's way too big. I'm not complaining. I lost weight, and a lot of my clothes are just hanging. Thanks, Joyce. Hey, Margit, how are you? You are an amazing artist. Now that we are friends, I get to see this art that you produce. Beautiful, beautiful, inspiring, happy. I love happy art. So, let me show y'all this cup again when I take a sip. Check this out. We found this, me and Deanna. It says coffee, pray, repeat. And then if you look on the inside, it's got the praying hands. Isn't that awesome? Love it. Aw, Sue. Let me write that down. Hi, Melly Mel. Yeah, don't we though, Millie? Those prayers of, you know, if I let him guide me, if I open my heart and my mind to his guidance and direction, I can't fail. It's when I start going, no, 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 God, I don't like that path. I'm going to take this one. That's when we start getting ourselves in trouble. Add your mama. Jess's mom. Back surgery. I take it very seriously. I know not everyone that's a part of the Coffee with Dre family are believers in prayer, and that's okay. I still love you. So if you don't believe in the power of prayer, or you're not a participant in praying for whatever reason, I don't need to know. Please send out positive vibes, positive thoughts, best wishes, things like that. Those also count. You count. It doesn't matter to me what your preferred higher power is. I know, Beverly, it's so cool. You know, I've got like a gazillion cups. I'm like KK Spear. She collects coffee cups. Well, I accidentally collect them. Like I needed another one, but I had to have this one. Carrie, opening my store this Wednesday. Oh my God, Carrie, I wish I could come there. Good vibes. That is a successful please. Anxiety levels getting high. Girl, take a deep breath. Just breathe. You've got this. Good morning, Deanne. How are you, precious? Oh, good. Good, Linda. Me too. Me too. It makes me feel, you know, some of us are survivors of things. Well, all of us are survivors of something or another. And if we can use whatever it is that helped us survive whatever circumstance it was, and use that to serve others, even if it's by prayer or positivity, we are an important part of making the world a better place in our circle, but it's still important. Let's see. Right? Linda, you and me both. Aw. I'll definitely keep you in my prayers too. Wow, Hallie. Oops, sorry. Okay, Hallie from Chuck. Y'all, I'm sorry if it's shaking. I am going to change this table. Any that I miss, we will go back. Good morning, Jesse. Any that I miss, I will go back and jot them down. Oh, I know, Tony. It's crazy. I worry so much about the people in its path, especially if it cuts through an area that's already had problems with the rain and the flooding and all of that. Aw, Deanne, you're so sweet. You are a blessing to me. Aw, thanks, Stephanie. It's funny you say that, Peggy, because that's the one thing I don't know where I learned it. I think I learned it in some psychology classes where you advise people to count to 10 before they react. Now, you don't out loud count to 10, but in your mind, if someone has said or done something in particular, you count to 10, and it gives your mind a moment's freedom to disconnect from the anger or the ugly words we might want to say. But I still pray that 10 seconds works. All right, Linda. Well, thank you for popping in and giving us some sound advice. I appreciate that. And thank you so much. Hi, Mary McElfresh. How are you? Good morning, my little cupcake. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Hey, Scotty. Good morning. Scotty, look, you know how bad I am with the phone and messages and all that? I apologize. I am going to call you. It probably won't be today because it's a crazy busy day, but probably tomorrow. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll just write that down. Call Scotty. Scotty does the IT for TDR, and he asked me a gazillion questions, and I didn't respond yet. Good morning, Dawn. How are ya? Thank you for sprinkling. We appreciate that. Hi, Vanessa May. Share the love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Kathy. Let's see, Georgie. When I wake up every morning, I thank God to wake me up and say thank you, Lord, for another day. Lord, please lay your hands on everyone all over this nation. Praying for the family. Oops. Let's see. It won't let me. It won't let me go to see more. Ah. There. Lost loved one who died from drive-by shooting. Life is so short. Yes, it is. And you never know when the unexpected can happen in your life. Please pray for all of our law enforcement. Absolutely. I do that constantly. I have lots of family who are in law enforcement who are feeling defeated. I know. Isn't that sad, Liza? Tony, we're going to have to get you past number 2. Yes, I absolutely do appreciate all of our law enforcement, all of our first responders who are right now going through some really tough times. I have friends as well in that line of work, and I worry about them every day. But also, they do feel defeated. They feel unwanted, unappreciated. They are being attacked. They're being spit on. All kinds of things that are just, come on. I agree that there are bad ones. Well, you know, Police Chiefs of America, hear me now. It's your job to go through this, train them properly, and weed out the ones that are causing harm instead of protecting and serving. Hi, Nellie. Good to see you again. Hey, Charlene. As well as our military. We need to appreciate them too. And their families. Because it's not just the person in that line that gives us sacrifice for us. It's also their families. I mean, I can't imagine having my son or my husband out there every day, and I have to pray that they'll make it home safe because of the line of work they're in. So we should appreciate them. There's so many people we need to appreciate. You know, if we just appreciated everybody for who they are, based on who they are, not what they are, or what color they are, or what gender they are, or what their lifestyles are, but them as a human being, wouldn't this world be a better place? Sure would. Aww. Oh, Jan. Now, come on, people. Stay away if you've been exposed. Got it. So, today we're going to talk about trusting in yourself or having faith in yourself. But first, let's talk about some of the things we've discussed the last few weeks. First of all, we talked about facing problems with grace and grit. Give yourself the grace you need to grieve whatever the situation is or the loss is. And then have the grit to come up out of it a better person, a servant of others. Because if you've gone through any kind of grief, you can help others come through theirs. And if you're going through any kind of grief, and I don't just mean the loss of a physical life, grief has so much more. It means so much more. Turn to those you trust. A man died at a nearby McDonald's drive-thru when he dropped change and didn't put the car in park. That's so sad. Hey, my little sparrow, how are you this morning? I'm glad you could stop in. All right, so Grace and Grit. Then we were able to realize that everything about you matters. Everything. Nothing about you is unimportant. You are important and you matter. Then we talked, or actually we acknowledged, yes, I wrote some notes. This is what I do. I pray and write at the same time sometimes. We acknowledged how important it is that we raise each other up. Stop downing each other. Stop judging each other. Stop being negative about each other. We've decided that we, here at Coffee with Drea for sure, and hopefully we're all spreading it out, can raise each other up. By raising each other up, look what your arms do. You're praising. You're praising. Yes. It's awesome. Let's see. Now what we need to do, with all this information that we've learned with each other and inspired each other with the last few weeks, now we need to talk about making the changes we each individually need within ourselves to make all these things we've discussed truth in our lives. You know, we need to live in the here and now. This is what we got. We don't know if we're going to get anything past the now, right? We just don't. So we need to live in that moment and remember that yesterday is over. It's past. Whatever happened yesterday, whatever feelings we had, whatever situation we were in, that was yesterday. Today, if we focus on living in the here and now and use the past for lessons learned, use the past for the memories that we gained that carry us through the tough times, and not stay locked in to yesterday. Sometimes that's really, really hard. Good morning, Dawn. Whose anniversary is it? Dana? I missed it. Let's see. Well, whoever, happy anniversary. Yes, it's Dana. Happy anniversary. So don't stay locked there. You know, part of all these things we've talked about is that we have to take action. We have to take action to have the grace and the grit. We have to take action to truly matter in our own lives and then those outside of us. We have to take action to raise each other up. We can't just say the words. Now, the action is dependent upon us and what actions we're able to take. But don't just sit there and stagnate. Don't just read the words. Don't just listen and encourage one another here and then leave here and not move forward. And like I've said, moving forward doesn't have to be these huge, giant steps. If all you can do is shuffle, well, by God, shuffle. But at least you're moving. And sometimes we have to take a step backwards. It's still movement, y'all. Sometimes we have to step back, regroup, refresh, renew. Then we can take more steps forward, right? Remember that action is rewarded. Inaction is not. Inaction just keeps you stuck wherever it is you are. I've been there, stuck. And it's not a fun place to be. It's really not. Well, happy birthday to your daughter. Thursday was my son's 38th. He was my oldest. Oh my gosh. It was like, oh my God, he would have been 40 soon. What? Anyway, I was thinking this morning, well, after I prayed, I was thinking, and so I think it came from elsewhere. And I prayed for direction, so I guess I got some. You know, there are signs in our life that we need to open our mind to. All of us get the signs. Sometimes retrospectively, when we, you know, that 2020 backwards vision we have, we see them then. But we need to train ourselves and open our minds and hearts to seeing the signs that we're given. It's kind of like a GPS in your car or a map. I mean, I can still read a map. I hope you guys can too, because if the GPS breaks, uh-oh. But so if you follow the map and you take the turns you need to take, the signs will tell you. And you go the speed you're supposed to go, the speeds will tell you. And if you're going up a hill or down a hill, the signs will tell you. So if you follow those signs, you're going to get where you need to be. If you do not follow the signs, well, you're never going to get to where you belong, right? If I didn't listen to the GPS, or I didn't follow my roadmap, or I didn't follow the signs that say, you know, Lockhart left, I'm not going to end up in Lockhart if I ignore those signs. So we really need to open our minds to what we're given. Those signs can be ever so slight, or they can be slam right in your face. Those are the ones I get the most. Yeah, sometimes we have to detour because we've been given a sign that we need to detour. Just like in our business, like us, we're remapping things the way we're doing them. We're adding, we're taking away. That it's important in business, but it's also very important in your own life. Follow the signs you are given. That sign could come from a friend. It could come from, you know, for me, if I pray for some guidance or for direction, or to keep my mouth shut, or whatever it is, if I listen, truly listen with my heart and mind, I will be given direction. If I follow the direction, I will get where I need to be. And that's what we all need to do. We need to be where we need to be. Sometimes we want to go, I'm going to use this as an example, I'm not naming names. Sometimes we want to go to an event. It means so much to us to be at that event. And then a loved one becomes sick and they need us. So where do you need to be? Well, the signs would tell you you need to be with that loved one who needs you. Other events will happen. So we need to follow those signs. And that's where we get that trust. We build that trust in ourselves that we can learn to see those signs, right? And the one thing about faith and trust in yourself that is sometimes hard for us to do when we're dealing with a problem or some anxiety issues, do not give up on you. If you're not feeling the direction you need to go, if you're not seeing the signs, do not give up. It's so easy right now in the world we live in, with all the hate we see and the ugly we see and the COVID and all of those things. It's so hard sometimes for us to see the signs, the direction we need to take, because we get so stuck. We get so overwhelmed. And listening to hear where the noise is coming from. Good morning, Sue. How are you? Yes, I agree. Sometimes it is difficult when you see other people taking the wrong path. Well, guess what? That's on them, really. I'm one of those people that tends to take on the weight of those I care about. And I see them making a mistake, and from my perspective, it's a mistake, right? Maybe it's not for them. Maybe they have to go that way to find their way out of whatever they're in. We don't really know, do we? But it is very difficult to see that. Now, when it's my children, I will advise them, of course. Or someone very, very close to me, I'll say, you sure that's a good idea? generally they'll explain it, and, you know, from their perspective, it's a good idea. So we need to also learn, when we have faith in ourselves, we also need to learn to have a little trust and faith in other people and their choices and their decisions, whether they are right or wrong. Bad decisions, bad choices sometimes are a lesson we need to learn, or they need to learn. You can't always take the direction from someone else. You have to just figure it out for yourself. You have to get lost to be found. And hope, and being found means finding yourself and where you really belong and where you need to be. That is a lesson I've learned my whole life. My whole life. Just like listening to gossip about others, make your own opinions. Sometimes someone doesn't like someone because of jealousy, not that they did something wrong. Absolutely. And we see a lot of that right now, don't we? Jealousy is ugly. It's an ugly, ugly thing. Envy is not so great either. But I would rather envy the good things you have than be jealous of them. Let you know I am hard of hearing, okay? Yes, Georgie. Wow, let's see. I hope I'm not going to mess up your name. Is it Teresita Johnson? Teresita? Just say yes or no. And the bad thing about gossip, it's generally based on one little seed of truth and expanded on by the gossiper. And then those of us that are hearing it, we're not hearing anything but the add-on, right? And that's why people that are negative or that gossip maliciously are successful. Because they take a little bit of truth. So if we see that, oh, there's a little bit of truth there, we might believe everything else we hear. Do your research. Gossip is an ugly thing. It really is. I get messages a lot. My phone dings constantly and I'm not complaining. And sometimes those messages are, so-and-so said this about me. Now others are saying it. I don't know how to stop it. This is my advice to you. First of all, if you're being gossiped about, you're being talked about. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe it'll lead others your way. But if you're being gossiped about, just continue to be you. You rarely are going to win if you try to defend against gossip, because then it becomes this constant back and forth, and then other people get involved, and then it starts affecting so many more people. When I have been talked about publicly, when I have been talked about behind my back, and it's brought to my attention, first thing I do is pray for whoever who said it. First thing. Because if I don't do that, it's so easy for me to let that little seed of anger build. And I don't want to be an anger bitter person. That is not a nice person to be around. And I wouldn't want to be around me like that. So first thing I do is pray. Then I let it go. Do I talk to my family or my very close friends about it? Yes. Does it hurt me? Yes. All those things are true. But I don't go on the defense, because then they are going to come back. And then I'll have to defend again. And then they'll come back. It's just this back and forth thing. So I've decided over and over, again, I have to pray about it, to keep my mouth shut. Sometimes not responding is your best defense. I will not defend lies told about me. You that know me will make your own decisions. You'll either know that's truth or you'll know it's not. And I want you to be that way, because I know some of you have been gossiped about. I know some of you have had ugly things said about you. Don't worry about it. You have faith in you and trust in you, and don't give up in your following your dreams, in having a great day. Do not give the gossiper the power to change anything about you. Don't give it to them. That is your power. if you allow, if people have stabbed you in the back, and y'all, I've got holes all over my back. It's amazing I still have a back, really. When you've been a business owner as long as I have, you learn who your friends are. And I have allowed, giant moth, I have allowed people who are stabbing me in the back to stab me in the back and continue on. Once they're done, they move on and they go stab somebody else in the back, right? But I take that knife and I take it out and I stab myself over and over, reliving that moment over and over. So I've then given them the power to allow me to harm myself from their ugliness. What kind of life is that? And where are you stabbing yourself? Right in the heart. Well, probably the heart's over here. No, it's not. It's here. Left. Anyway, then we continue and continue and continue. Yes, Jeannie, prayed about it first and cut those people out of my life. That's absolutely truth, Shannon. But if someone puts words in my mouth that I did not say, then I have a really serious problem letting it go. That is more difficult to let it go. But again, it's gossip. And they're assuming they know you, right? Well, obviously they don't. So don't give them the power. Because those words did not utter from your mouth. I think sometimes when someone else does that, when they're ugly and gossip about us or say things that we supposedly said, that first of all, they generally take things out of context, right? And some want to harm us. I've had that situation where someone tried to harm my reputation and my business. They were somewhat successful, but not really. Only for a blip in time, and only because I allowed it. And then again, it's you have to pray for them and pray for you, that God gives you the gumption to handle it the way you need to. For me, I have never been told to do anything but shut my mouth. Yes, Jeannie, you have the power of how you react and respond. Charlene, same here. Same here. I've had to recently let go of some things that happened many moons ago. And you know what the cathartic moment was when I was writing the book and putting down things. I thought, wow, I don't think I've forgiven that. I need to forgive that. Also need to forgive me. Yay, Mary! Thank God you have power again. That's awesome. I want to see. Teresita. I feel very special when others speak my name, whether true or not. In the course of an average day, I have enough to deal with. Then be concerned about someone else. If another person takes a moment to speak my name, I'm special. And I'm somewhat significant enough, be it positive or negative, on their behalf for them to speak my name. Yeah, I say that too. At least they're talking about me. I don't say it as poetically as you just did. That's right, Bobby. And I think that might be a problem we all have sometimes. We don't understand at what point we need to move on. Well, Charlene, like you and I that have recently had to let go of things from years ago, maybe this is the time that we could let go, Maybe had we tried 10 years ago, it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have been the right time for us. So, for everything there is a season, right? So maybe it was our season to let those things go. Hi, Val. I'm so pleased to catch up with you, my friend. My silly iPad is being silly. It's very hard to keep my mouth shut. Thank you for praying for me. You stay well and safe. You as well, sweet, sweet Val. I certainly hope things get better down under. I'm so sorry. When someone you think is your friend does that to you and forms your opinion of others, they are not your friend. That's how I was kept away from you, Dre, for so long. I know. Same here, right? Several times God has had me and others apologize to the person, even though they were wrong, and it caused a change in them that otherwise wouldn't have happened. That's a great one, Tamanika. What I did to someone, well, more than once, the one I'm thinking of in the moment is I said, I'm sorry that it made you feel that way. I don't apologize if I don't need to apologize. That's a hard lesson because I've always been an apologizer. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, and at some point I had to learn that I don't have to apologize for everything. It isn't all my fault. But I am sorry when people take things out of context that I've said, or if I've hurt someone inadvertently. Of course I'm sorry that I made them feel that way. Saddest thing for me is that I have to let several family members go. I've battled big demons for too long. Yes, ma'am. That is the toughest, isn't it? When it's family. Because you're bound by blood. But when a relationship, no matter what relation, if friends, spouses, partners, family, business, when a relationship is no longer healthy for you, odds are it's not healthy any longer for the other person as well, or becomes toxic to you, you have to let it go to move forward, right? Or else you stand there in the middle of all that toxicity just falling apart. And we don't need to fall apart. We are a beautiful mosaic, like our beautiful Levon, and we need to put those pieces back together and move forward. I don't want to live a miserable life, and I would be miserable if I listened to what everyone said. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but it's like Leah Mack says, I might be somebody else's shot of vodka. You know, I take it as, I think it happens as you get older too. You begin not to worry so much about what people perceive you as. It bothers me if people are harmed by me in any way, of course. It bothers me if people are saying ugly things because I want to know why. Because if I know why and it's legit, then maybe I can fix it, right? But I can't carry the weight of other people's opinions. It would weigh me down too much. And, you know, I like to flitter around like a fairy. Yes, Teresita, I said it right. Deanna Davis is with me this morning. Hi, Connie.
Morning.
Erica, good morning. Erica, can you message me your t-shirt
Size?
T-shirt size, please? I had to leave a church that I was a member of for 43 years. Wow, that's tough. Because of gossip about myself and others that were hurtful and not true. Now, that's tough when you have to leave your church family. I've done the same thing. And I was there for a good part of my life. I had to walk away. I struggle with apologizing. If I'm not wrong, too, but if he prompts me, I lean in and trust, and every time they have apologized and recognized it wasn't me. Isn't that beautiful, Tamanika? Isn't that beautiful? And there's that trust. You have to trust, you have to have trust and faith in yourself. And you know, faith by definition is, let me think of the word, belief in something that you may not be able to see. So we have to have the faith. Like, we can't see God physically. We can see through all his creations and how he carries us. But we still have faith, right? So have that faith in yourself too, everyone. Tammy was married to a narcissist, oh gosh, for 31 years. Divorce was supposed to be final August 30th, but COVID. I'm so happy now. I'm so happy for you, Tammy. So happy. I was in a very, y'all will read about that in the book, but I was in a very long-term marriage to one of my best friends ever. And it just about destroyed me. But once I was able to let go of the images I had for my future and let go of the blame I took where I didn't deserve to take, and held myself accountable for what was my part, because there's always two people, no matter what. You know, if we're being abused, there's the abuser and then the enabler. We enable them to abuse us, right? We give them that power. It's a difficult thing to walk away from, but we have to. We have to let it go. And when we let it go, we see this amazing light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, I've said so many times, that light is you. I learned that. And I told my therapist that I know what that light is, because she kept telling me, Dre, keep on keeping on. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And one day it just was like, poof. Oh my God, the light at the end of the tunnel is me. Yes, I can see it. I'm learning who I am, who I truly am. And it was so amazing. So amazing. Hi, Brian. How are you this morning, handsome? Yeah, the roosters are really going at it this morning, Carolina. I'm getting healthy now in body and mind now that I have let go of these people. It's not over, but I'm finding more peace. And isn't that the important thing? Finding that peace for us. You know, picking up the pieces to find peace is amazing. And you get to create you. You get to figure out where those pieces fit in. How those scars you've dealt with make you beautiful. Beautiful, because you survived. You have scars. You went through pain, but you survived. And now your job is to live your best life. Right, Deanna?
Yes.
She's being a little bit quiet this morning, isn't she? Let me have a sip of coffee.
I can make up for that. I just saw Loretta's thing about casing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's going to have a sedated CT scan Thursday because he's got headaches really bad to where he holds his head and screams.
Aww.
So,
that's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been praying for Camry, Loretta, and we need to add her brother, Junior. He was rushed to the hospital. He has to see a cardiologist. They gave him antibiotics for an infection, but they're concerned there may be something else. So we do need to keep them in our prayers. You know, Melinda, isn't that the truth? Really, Beverly? You and your happy personality, I would not have thought that. People don't believe it about me either. You're right. I don't believe. It's funny how people can be to your face behind the back. I think the age of social media has made people bravely ignorant. It is ignorance that we suffer from if we are being ugly. Yes, Dustin. Brian, we talked about that early, and a reminder to everyone. Dustin lost the person that was closest to him, his partner, unexpectedly. So please pray for Dustin Gibson and all that he has to go through right now.
Is that the Dustin?
Yeah, Flowers, Paradise, Flowers.
Oh, my.
Hi, Suzanne Campbell. How are you? Yeah, it's really sad. There's been so much loss lately. There was the officer that was shot in the face.
Oh yeah.
That left behind 2 children. There have been some children that I've been made aware of recently, who have one who's recently diagnosed with leukemia, another who had survived a cancer and now has leukemia, where bad enough that he needs a what do you call it? Bone marrow transplant. There is so much pain and so much loss out there. If we can't always pray for each individual. We talked about earlier all the ones we've been praying for. But if we do a blanket prayer for the Coffee with Dre family, and then specifically, because God will know the needs, and then pray for those outside as well, or within our own community. Oh, Brian, I'll pray for that, buddy. That is, you know, there's nothing wrong with praying for that. Yes, Fredna. yes, that is tough. That's like losing your spouse. Same thing. It's very, very difficult. Again, a lot of times when we have loss, this has been my experience and talking with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, hundreds. The loss goes beyond the obvious. The physical loss is so obvious to us all when someone loses a loved one to death. What we don't always see is that they lose the image of that future they planned with that loved one. They lose the vacations, the retirement home, the Sunday morning breakfast, all those things are lost. For me, I lost the graduations, the birthdays, the weddings, the grandbabies. All those things you lose. And also, you somehow lose the people that surrounded that person that you've lost. So the loss is so much more than the obvious. So pray for them to find peace, of course, and comfort. Because that's all we can pray for. That loss cannot be taken back.
No, when you lose a partner that, you always hear in the
It's
marriage,
not a selfish prayer, Brian.
that when you become one, you really don't understand that until you lose that person.
You lose part of yourself.
And you lose, yes, that's a hard one.
I don't know, Bobby. Let's see. Do we have crafters that lost business supplies due to hurricane? I'm going through supplies and will mail to them. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure that we will be notified. Very often these things are covered by insurance in those areas. But we certainly, if I hear of anything or if anybody hears of anything, no, Cat, no. No. I'm holding.
Go for
Looks
the
like
chair.
she's about to pounce.
There, go for the chair. Go.
Sienna saved the day.
At the moment.
Yeah, and you do lose yourself for a little while. That's right, Amy. You do. There's so many things I could say, but I won't. Y'all just don't, this is not the he's in a better place time to say. Because when we first lose our loved ones, we don't want to hear that. Because to us, the better place is right here with us, right? So we have to be careful how we use our words. Hi, Susan Galley. Welcome this morning. Hey, Leslie. I didn't see you earlier. Hi. Melinda, I am 68 and I've learned to pity those who are so miserable they want others to feel like them. Yes. A lot of times people that live in misery connect with other people that are miserable because misery is like an amoeba, where it keeps growing. They feed off each other. Andrea Brown, I've been praying for you ever since I found out about your loss. I hope you have found peace and are happy. You're always focusing on other people, so I just want to make sure that you don't lose yourself. Just saying. Brian, I am amazingly happy. I'm living my best life. Do I miss my children? Yes. And Justin's birthday was last Thursday, so that was a little bit of a bittersweet day for me, for sure. But my children who passed away would want their mom, one, to live her best life and be happy. They would not want me to be curled up in a ball on the couch in sadness. So instead, I celebrate the lives we had. I treasure the memories. I was so blessed to have been able to spend the better part of their days with them. And we had amazing relationships. So I have a preponderance of memories. And it makes me very happy. So yes, Brian, but thank you. And the prayers don't hurt.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all, knowing everything that Drea has been through, if she definitely lives her life for a purpose, I am amazed that she is at the places that she is in, considering everything she has been through. She is a beacon. that just shines
beacon
for
of
everyone. A beacon of light.
Oh, thanks.
Well, people
Hey,
are drawn to
Denise.
you.
Huh?
People are drawn to you. You don't even have to. You can
Not
walk
just the
in-
people that want money.
Not just the people that want money. Not just that.
Yesterday was truly hard, even though I have other grandkids. Devin was my oldest. To know he was that sad was really hard for me. I struggled so hard yesterday.
I hope her fingers are
Yes,
better.
Brian, they are. Deanne, give yourself the grace to go through the moments. It's not quite been a year for you, sweetie. You know, you've had other losses. That first year is, man, that is the hardest. After that, it doesn't go away. It just, we just learn to deal with things. Great words, Deanna Davis, like drawn to Dre from day one. Aw, Carolina, you beautiful soul. And beautiful on the outside, too. I'm in my 30th year of divorce.
Wow.
Many things were lost with my children as I was left out. He still tries to control them. My middle son is living with him again because of lack of where am I at? Lack of accountability and responsibility with financial matters and drinking beer every day. Son is divorced too as of around 10 plus years, so he's bitter and angry. I see he continues to see the same examples. Join me in prayers that he will find God. I've stepped out of God's way. It's difficult, but necessary. Very well put.
Yeah.
Step out of God's way. Fredna, we are definitely going to pray for your son.
That is true. Sometimes we gotta
Specific.
do it. Like gotta do it.
And sometimes, when alcohol is involved, people stay pickled in that alcohol. And what does pickling do? It makes things sour, right? So until they get out of that pickle, out of that jar, that bottle, that can, that whatever that's mind altering.
Pickle jar.
Don't be
I just
funny.
want the other pickles to come join me.
The end of the loss of your spouse, best friend, is a loss like no other, as is the loss of a child. When you become one, you no longer fit where you did as a couple, if that makes it. Joan, that makes perfect
Amen
sense.
to that, yeah.
Deanna lost her love of her life 3.5 years ago?
2.5 years ago.
2.5. 2.5, that's it.
It'll be 3 years. In November.
3 years in November. And we talk often about it, obviously. She's still in search for how she fits in to things.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years later.
Yep. That's true.
That's right, Micah. Sometimes people do. Thank you, Bobby. Sometimes myself included, I really did have to hit the bottom to come back to the top. And it wasn't alcohol or anything like that. It was my own dislike of myself. My inability to trust in myself. It was my being accountable for mistakes I made, but taking on the weight of the other person's accountability so they weren't accountable. I took responsibility for everything. And eventually when you do that, that responsibility and that weight weighs you down to the bottom. And you have to find a way to let go and slowly, like that fizzy lifting drink in Willy Wonka. you have to slowly let go and allow it to take you out.
Do those burps so you can release it.
There you go. Burp and release.
Burp and release.
Oh, Brian, that's so sweet. He said he didn't know that, and he's going to be praying for you, too.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
I'll tell you.
Oh, Jeannie.
Right, Jeannie? And that is the thing. In any loss, is finding a new normal. But what I would like to say is that you are trying, that's action, to find your new normal. It will come to you. You might already be in that new normal and not even know it. So I'm proud of you. That's amazing.
Surround yourself with great, like-minded friends.
Right. I had to also, Dre, self-blame. Blame doctors, God. It took a while. Yes, and a lot of you probably don't know this. because you know how important God is in my life, spirituality in particular. When the kids passed away, the first thing, you pray because that's your 24/7 Christian. But I kept praying for it to not be true. I kept praying for him to take it back. I was like, God, you can fix this. Nobody in the world will ever know if you go backwards in time and let us start over from there with them alive. I made all kinds of deals with him, and he didn't answer those prayers. I had to ask others to pray for what I really needed with me, but he didn't answer those prayers, and so I got angry. I was so angry. I was like, how could you take such good people? They were on their way to minister for you. Why would you take them? And I don't want to say that I hated God. I was just so mad at him. And it took me so many years, really, to let it go. Every now and then when it comes up to the anniversary date, I don't ask why anymore, because I think the why, he didn't step in. He didn't cause it. I do not believe that God causes anything evil, and that's evil. I don't ask the why. I just ask, what do I do with this? Still, 20 years later, I'm still asking, how do you expect me to live with this? How do I go on without them? Those kinds of things. I still have that, get on that struggle bus. But I make it through. It doesn't last long. I don't pity me. Sometimes I'm envious of some of you. I'll be honest. I see your children having children, or getting married, or you're throwing a baby shower, or those things. Those are things that I'm like, I'll never get to do that for Dee Dee or Justin, Still, 20 years later. But I will tell you this, that finding the ability to choose joy throughout the loss is what saved me. Realizing what my kids would have wanted for me, which was not misery, saved me. Being able to use that horrific loss to serve others, to help others survive their losses, or at least think about choosing joy, or something going off. I had a lady come to me, I guess about 3 years ago at a convention, tap me on the shoulder, and I wish to God I could remember her name. If you're on here, you tell me it's you. She tapped me on the shoulder and said, Drea, I listened to your Coffee with Drea, which was one of the first ones I did. And your ability to choose joy in such loss made me realize had lost someone for 3 years and didn't leave her house unless necessary. Didn't create, didn't do anything, just lived in her sadness. She said, that moment changed my life. I got up off my couch and look, I'm at a convention. Do you know, I'm still getting chills. To this day, that is one of the most important things ever said to me in my life, because it validated that it is what I should be doing, that my loss of my children can help somebody else go through their loss, or it can help them appreciate their own children. It can help them mend fences that need to be mended, because y'all, every moment counts. We don't know if we get the next moment. Make it count. Don't spend your life with broken fences. Whether you need to mend the fence for you to move on, or if you need to mend the fence between you and them so you can again have a relationship. That's on you. Those are things that from my loss, and from some of the comments from some of you, and some of the notes I've gotten and things where you've felt a change, or you felt inspired to step out or let go a little bit, or you just said, wow, I'm so glad somebody understands how I feel. That's why I do what I do. That's the legacy I give to my children. And that preacher who said, sometimes God's gift is to inspire others. That isn't what he said. Something like that. Can't even think of the word right at the moment. And it made the hair on the back of my head stand up. And somebody didn't know me and looked me square in the eye. I was like, okay, God, I know I'm supposed to be doing this. I get it. Look at the people you've helped. You're so inspiring and so loved for what you do. Thank you. Aww.
Mending fences.
Yes, Fredna, exactly. Our losses allow us to comfort others, because even though we can't 100% understand, losing a child is not the same as losing a friend or spouse. It's different. Each thing is different. Losing a parent is not the same as a spouse. You know, each loss is in and of itself. And then each loss is also different based on the relationship we had with whomever we lose. So we can't truly, completely understand, but we got an idea of what you're going through. And this is what those of us who have survived loss and come out smiling and living a good, happy life and doing the best we can, and that's all you can do. You will get through this. You will. I promise you will. You just have to allow yourself. Those that don't make it through don't realize that they can pick up the broken pieces and be okay. They haven't found that. That's people that I believe. That is people who commit suicide. So sorry, Deanne. My children died on a Monday, April 24th, 2000. The following Monday, at the time the paper reported their death, which was not correct, a friend of theirs, Ben, shot and killed himself. It was a good friend of my son's. And I have thought a lot about that. I mean, him and Justin are probably having a great time together in heaven. I can just see them now being silly. But Ben was broken. He had pieces. Ben didn't know how to pick up the pieces and heal. And that, I believe, that is my opinion of what happens to those we lose through self-infliction. They just don't know. They are hurt so badly. They can't see how to pick up the pieces. And they see not being here as the answer. So please don't blame them. Don't blame you. It's something that happened. Oh, I'm teary-eyed. It's something that happened that we cannot change. But we can change how we feel. Give that person you've lost that way grace. You don't know how many pieces there were, or what the final piece was, or what the catalyst was. You don't know. They can write you all the letters they want. Only they know, and God. Give them grace. They had no answers. They didn't know they had the power to fix. They didn't know. Isn't that the case with all of us in lots of situations? We don't know we have the power to be okay. We don't until someone says, hey, don't give up your power. You got power. It's in you to be the authentic you. But you have to trust you. And that's something in this world we don't allow ourselves so much. We've lost a lot of that. Let's get it back. Let's start having faith in each other, praise each other, raise each other, and having faith in ourselves and our ability to listen and know the signs. Because again, like we talked earlier, those signs direct our path. Only our path. It will be lit for you. You just got to follow it.
Jeannie had...
Whew, I'm on a soapbox.
When my daughter died, I felt like it was in a nightmare. I was in Japan when I got the phone call and had to fly back home and felt it was not true. I prayed on that flight to make it not true. I couldn't imagine being in another country.
Me either. And that's exactly what I did too, Jeannie. And I guess everyone does. We just pray, oh, that can't be true. Please, this is so... I'm watching a horrible movie.
Doesn't that tie into the same kind of grief that when you lose somebody, you grieve what you were before they died?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very deep, Jesse.
Well,
And then you grieve who you are. Were.
Well,
And then
I
that's
do
because
that
you got to
with-
find that new normal.
I do that with health.
Yes, you do.
Just thinking.
Y'all, I'm going to have to read all these comments after.
Yeah, don't forget there's that prayer group that y'all can join and post your prayers in there.
And if you know of someone that needs prayer, you don't even have to say their name.
Not at all.
Timonika said, wow, deep, Jesse.
Helen says repeat that. She couldn't hear it.
Go ahead.
No.
What she said was that we also grieve the loss of who we were when that loved one was alive. So we're grieving, and that's what we were talking about earlier. We grieve so much more than just the obvious. You're right, Val. This coffee's a little chilly. So I hope, you know what, the GPS, our GPS, yes, Helen said, yes.
Mine keeps getting rerouted.
Right?
My GPS.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have to follow the detours.
Yes. Well,
But
sometimes
when I was thinking about, we have to follow the signs in our life like a GPS. GPS stands for this for us. First, you're great. Second, you have purpose. Third, signs. Follow them. Because if you follow the signs, you will find your purpose. I gotta remember that. I like that.
You better write that down.
I did.
Okay, cool.
Mary SpongeBob says, Jesse, that's so true. It really is. And man, y'all, finding that new normal, that's a journey. That is a journey. But I can tell you, I'm going to talk to Helen for a second because I know her. We've been friends for a very long time. She lost her husband, Brandon, a little over a year ago. Around a year ago. I may be a little off on my days, but Brandon was an amazing human being. Very godlike, very, very kind and giving. Helen has amazing memories with him, as do the children. Now, she still has young children to raise that were hers and Brandon's. Baby, you're shaking the table. You have to be slow. Thanks. And so Helen's had to work this year at finding a new normal. She might have to find that new normal a little bit quicker than the rest of us. Thank you, Brian. Love you, man. Have an amazing day. She may have to work a little harder, as I did, because I still had young children that I was responsible for. And if children see us fall into the pit of grief, the one that you have to claw your way out of, that teaches them, and then they'll hold on to that grief. Well, I can tell you, knowing Brandon, there is no way he would want Helen suffering. He wants Helen living her best life, redecorating her house that makes her happy, spending time doing amazing things with her children, because he wants them happy. So, new normal takes time. But you have to have some new, because you're right. It's a new you. You almost have to be reborn, right? Because you're now on your own instead of as one, as Deanna so poetically stated earlier. So y'all that have, I know a lot of you have lost your spouses. My heart goes out to you. It truly does. Because when we take those vows to become one, it's true. Know that you can make it past. Know that you still have purpose and you can still serve others. But know this most of all, and this is what has helped me the most in getting over my children and my dad and my uncle and my grandparent, you know, on and on, the list goes on, is They loved me. I loved them. When I end my journey on this earth, I want my children to continue living their best lives. I do. I want them to celebrate the moments that we have. We have a lot of awesome moments because we believe in every moment being important. I don't want them, their grief, because they're going to grieve. Duh. Who wouldn't grieve? Right? It's me. No, I'm kidding. They're going to grieve. But I still want them to choose joy. To choose a new normal that fits them without me present physically. I'll always be present. When we have a loss, we don't lose everything. We lose the physical person, but they're always with us. They're in our mind. They're in our heart. There's signs out there. You know, some of us believe the cardinals are a sign that our loved one's with us. Some believe it's dragonflies. Some believe it's butterflies. Whatever it is that makes you understand that it's okay to be happy. It's okay to laugh and feel joy. That's what they want. That's what they want for you. The same way you would want that for your loved ones when your time's up. So, on a happier note, y'all, have a blessed week. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Don't forget to add me to those prayers of yours for guidance and direction. I have a lot to go through right now. You know, getting ready for stuff. It's nothing painful. It's just busy. So I ask that. And I can be the kids call me the boot camp mom when I get in mode for an event or a party or whatever. Pray that I keep my mouth shut and be nice.
Sorry.
We get through it by including our memories with Brandon in our new adventures. It's always okay to bring him up in conversations. Oh, bless you, Helen. That's wonderful. We celebrate our new lives by tying in what we know he would love, would have enjoyed or not about our adventures. Aw, love you too, Helen, and that's beautifully said. On that fine note, you guys, continue to have faith in yourself. Follow that GPS. Open your heart and mind to the signs that you need to follow to get to where you need to be, to where you belong. Please, for you. Remember, when Drea says she loves you, she means it. When I say I care, I mean it. When I say I pray for you, I mean it. If you need, send us a message. If you need a prayer, I don't want to say it wrong, the Power to Be You group. It's a Facebook, private, public Facebook group that you can join. You don't have to name names. You don't have to say it's for you. If you need prayers, put them there. We'll make sure that all those with us that pray, we'll pray for you specifically. Otherwise, we'll pray for you as a family. Y'all, never give up your power. That's the power to be the authentic you. Only you can be that person. God made you, broke the mold, went on to the next, right? Follow your own power. And most importantly, always, always, always choose joy, y'all. Have a blessed week. Thank you for joining. See you groupies at 4 p.m. today. Bye.